Today I would go through this study guide for exam DP 203 Data Engineering on Microsoft Azure. So why I'm specifically going through the study guide for DP 203 is because it covers almost 80 to I think 90%. It covers the subjects around Microsoft Azure. Okay, obviously the Microsoft Fabric is on top of that, doing some business intelligence and data science. But how the data engineering works on the Microsoft Azure. So this is a complete guide, and any topic that you would actually consider in this study guide and go through the practical scenario of that specific topic. I think that would cover the entire 100% of Microsoft Azure. Yeah. And the data engineering part of Microsoft Azure. So this is the reason I'm going through this DP203 study guide initially, and then the practical approaches in subsequent sessions for each of the concept. So purpose of this document. So I would say the most important one would be the skills measured. Okay. We'd go through one by one of each skill as part of this, and what are the subjects of each of the functionality of the data engineering in Microsoft Azure. But just going at a high level around this, so they provided some useful links in the study guide. I would say the Microsoft Learn profile is the most important one, where you log in here and then you can see all your current progress and the certifications you completed of, you know, then renew your certifications, everything. Okay. You can share and print certificates as well. Okay. Obviously 700 or greater is required to pass. Explore sandbox. If you are in a different city, you can request accommodation. Free practice assessment. So I would recommend to go through these practice exams, but the real time exam scenario and the real exam, the questions that appear are completely different. 90% they are different, only 10% they will actually come. But why we have to take the practice tests is to completely understand the subject, both theoretic and practical, both of them. So some of the concepts will be updated from time to time in this exam. Okay, so English version will be updated every time. Then we have to follow the English version. So audience here. So we should know. So we should know, right? Whether see, you're transitioning yourself into data engineering. Okay. So data engineering for Azure. So there are other providers, Google and AWS. So they have uh, the audience is almost the same for all the data engineering exams. But this DP 203 Azure Data Engineering, I specifically see all the concepts and the subjects in this cover all the areas of the data engineering and specifically Azure data engineering. Okay. um, it will help you transform. Yeah, I mean the career path is a different subject, so which career path you're trying to choose. uh, but an exam like this will help you to acquire the knowledge that is required for the career path, the specific career path change. Okay. So as a candidate for this exam, you should have subject matter expertise in integrating, transforming, consolidating, integrating from various sources, transforming of the data, and the consolidation. So load it into the final data warehouse or Azure Data Synapse Analytics. So structured, unstructured streaming data system, which are events, right, in a suitable schema for building analytical solutions. So as an Azure data engineer, you help stakeholders. So it's not only that you are doing something in the Azure, but you are also interacting with. So you have interactions with the stakeholders, understanding the data through exploration, build and maintain secure and compliant data processing pipelines by using different tools and techniques. So you interact with the stakeholders, make them understand what is the business out of the data through explorations, build and maintain secure and compliant data processing pipelines. So it is also data storage as well. So secure and compliant. So you have no security breaches of the data processing pipelines by using different tools and techniques. You use various Azure data services, frameworks to store and produce cleansed and enhanced data sets for frameworks, which we'll be seeing further down the line. This data store can be designed with different architecture patterns based on business requirements. The data store can have different architecture patterns. So we have, so based on the business requirements, how we interact with the stakeholders, different data store architectures are there, like modern data warehouses, the MDW, big data, lakehouse architecture is there, which can store structured and unstructured. So as an Azure data engineer, you help to ensure that the operationalization of data pipelines and data stores high performing, efficient, organized and reliable given a set of business requirements and constraints. Okay. So the data pipelines should be running 24 by 7. Data sources are high performance oriented, efficient, organized and reliable. So it should not have bad data. The data quality should be top notch. Operationalization means it should be running 24 hours. It should be secure, organized, okay, within those constraints and the business requirements. You help to identify and troubleshoot operationalization and data quality issues. You also design, implement, monitor, and optimize data platform to meet the data pipelines. So the data pipelines and the data platform or the data stores should be designed and implemented, monitored, and optimized to meet the data pipelines. So the data pipeline usually is the Azure Data Factory or those come in the inbuilt data pipelines inside the Azure. Okay. So as a candidate for this exam, you must have solid knowledge of data processing languages includes SQL, Python, and Scala. So it is good to be an expert on all of these three. Okay. So get a certification in individual things also. It's better. Okay. So you need to understand parallel processing data architecture patterns. You should be proficient using the following data processing solutions. So there should be a lot of data parallel processing. Parallel processing of the data. The reason being is the huge data that's uh, the Azure is able to process is very huge. Is very huge. The data that is, so we should be able to make it parallel processing oriented with good data architecture patterns. Okay. Should be proficient to use the following tools to data processing solution: Azure Data Factory, Azure Synapse Analytics, Azure Stream Analytics, Azure Event Hubs, Azure Data Lake Storage, Azure Databricks. So Azure Databricks is a separate entire world on its own, which you can do some certifications around that to understand the entire concepts of that. You have free certifications also. Azure Synapse Analytics, Data Factory, Stream Analytics, Event Hubs, Data Lake, all these go hand in hand. Databricks is a third party uh, platform that is integrated to process the big data, and it is integrated to PySpark with Python and Spark. I would say here you need to use Spark also, which is a okay Spark Scala interchangeably, but it's a third party the platform that is integrated to process the big data and to create some reporting, using Python. You can create matplotlibs, histograms, many things on the Databricks front. It is a very efficient architecture of storage, not the storage. It includes the machine learning and artificial intelligence components as well. So you can just look at the definition of the Databricks as well. So what is Databricks actually? Databricks, right? So it's something like You can just go to the databricks.com. You can go to the databricks.com here. So, so if you see here, Databricks, right? Databricks.com. So what does it do actually? So this Databricks is integrated to the Azure. But as we are sticking to the Azure, you should also see how Databricks is integrated to the Azure here. Okay. So what is this tool? This is a data intelligence platform. Okay. So this Databricks introduced a data intelligence platform. So you can actually what is so you can just what is Databricks here? It's a platform for building, deploying, sharing, and maintaining data analytics and AI solutions at scale. Okay. Data analytics company founded. Okay. So if you look into the Wikipedia also, right? Cloud-based platform to help enterprise build, scale, and govern data and AI, including generative AI and machine learning models. Data lake house it pioneered a data and AI platform combines the data warehouse and data lake, allowing organizations to manage and use both structured and unstructured data, traditional AI workloads. The company similarly develops Delta Lake, an open source product bring reliability to for machine learning and other data science use cases. Okay, so the cloud is a marketing term. Lakehouse is data warehouse. Okay, many things are there in this. Uh, Azure skill set a glance. Skill set a glance. So you can see design and implement data storage, develop data processing, design and develop implement data storage, develop data processing, secure, monitor, and optimize data storage and data processing. Uh, so these are the skills. Design and implement data storage. So as I told you, right, the data storage is a data lake store. Delta Lake store. See, there are three things again here. So you need to, as you go through these subjects, right, you need to understand the concepts in that. Like we have data lake, delta lake, lake house. So how would you actually differentiate on all these three? You have to look into that. Okay. Develop data processing, which is like processing or ETL pipelines, all those. Secure, monitor, optimize, which is security, data security, monitoring, and optimize data storage and data processing. Data storage and data processing. Optimize data storage and data processing. Okay. Design and implement data storage. Implement a part. So, design and implement a data storage, right? So, here implement a partition strategy for files. Implement a partition strategy for analytical workloads. Implement a partition strategy for streaming workloads. So, files, analytical workloads, streaming workloads. Azure Synapse Analytics partitioning is needed in Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2. So how would you implement partition strategy for files, analytical workloads, streaming workloads, Azure Synapse Analytics, okay, Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2. Design and implement data exploration layer. So this is data storage, this is data exploration. You queries by the compute solution that leverages SQL serverless and Spark clusters. Okay. Recommend and implement Azure Synapse Analytics database templates. Push new or updated data lineage to Microsoft Purview. Browse and search metadata in Microsoft Purview. The data exploration is like, the metadata about the data. It is called as the metadata. Okay. So you need to execute queries by using a compute solution that leverages SQL serverless and Spark clusters. Okay. Recommend and implement Azure Synapse Analytic database templates. Implement Azure Synapse. Push newer updated Microsoft Purview is a new data governance mechanism or methodology in Microsoft Azure, that is integrated with data quality, security, everything, and you can actually monitor the data flow, how the data is being integrated, what is the logging of the data with Microsoft Purview data catalog. You develop data processing, so ingest and transfer. Implement incremental data loads always. Transform data used by Apache Spark. Apache Spark. So here the Spark clusters we found out, right? So Spark is a parallel processing framework for transforming data. Okay, and part of the data ingestion as well. Transform data by Transact SQL in Azure Synapse Analytics. Transform data by using Transact SQL in Azure Synapse Analytics. Ingest and transform data by using Azure Synapse Pipeline or Azure Data Factory. So here Azure Synapse Pipeline. Transform data by using Azure Stream data. IoT, you know, cleanse data. Cleansing the data, handle duplicate data, avoid duplicates using Azure. So exactly once delivery, handle missing data, handle late arriving dimensions, kind, split data, shred JSON, encode and decode data, configure error handling for a transformation, normalize, denormalize, perform data exploratory analysis. So injection and transformation of the data, ingestion and transformation. So develop a batch processing. So develop batch processing using Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2, Azure Databricks, Azure Synapse Analytics, Azure Data Factory. Use Polybase to load to SQL pool. Implement Azure Synapse Link and query the replicated data. So Azure Synapse Link is one concept. Create data pipelines. Creating data pipelines. Okay. Creating the data pipelines. Scale resources. Scaling resources, configure the batch size, create tests for data pipelines, configure the batch size also. Data pipelines, integrate Jupyter or Python notebooks into a data pipeline, upsert batch data, revert data to previous state, configure exceptionally. Configure batch retention, read from and write to Delta Lake again here, not data lake. Stream processing, streaming, right? IoT. So also by using Stream Analytics and Azure Event Hubs, process data by using Spark structured streaming. Spark structured streaming, create windowed aggregates, handle schema drift. So what we are seeing, stream processing, handle schema drift, process time series, process data across partitions, process with one partition, configure checkpoints and watermarking during processing. So these are very unique concepts. Scale resources, every concept has a practical application. Create tests for data pipelines, optimize pipelines for analytical or transactional purposes, handle interruptions, handle interruptions, so configure exception handling, upsert stream data, replay archive stream data, read from and write to a Delta Lake, manage batches and pipelines, manage by batches and pipelines, trigger batches, handle failed batch loads, validate batch loads, trigger batches. Okay, handle failed batch loads, validate batch loads, manage data pipelines in Azure. Azure Synapse Pipeline, schedule data pipelines in Data Factory or Azure Synapse Pipeline, implement version control for pipeline artifacts, also manage Spark joins in a pipeline. Now securing, this is the most important one as well. I think this is a bit complex also. Secure, monitor and optimize data storage and data processing. Data masking, data security, right? Data masking, encrypt data at rest and in motion also. Implement row level and column level security, implement Azure role based access control, implement POSIX like access control, ACLs for data lake storage Gen 2, implement data retention policy, implement secure endpoints, private and public, implement resource tokens in Azure Databricks, load a data frame with sensitive information, data frame through Python, right? Write encrypted tables to data to tables or Parquet files, which is in Delta Lake. Manage sensitive information, monitor data storage and processing, implement logging use of Azure Monitor, configure monitoring services, monitor stream processing, measure performance of data movement, monitor statistics about data across the system, monitor data pipeline performance, measure query schedule and monitor pipeline tests, interpret Azure monitor metrics and implement a strategy. Optimize and trouble data storage and data processing. Compact small files, handles queue in data, handles queue, data skew, right? Handle data spill, optimize resource management, tune queries by using indexes, tune queries by cache, troubleshoot a failed Spark job, troubleshoot a failed pipeline, including external. So there's a very huge one which will actually make you understand the entire concept of Azure Data Engineering, and you can actually shift your career path in that perspective. Study resources. We recommend that you train and get hands-on experience before you take. That's why they say you need to get the hands-on experience, offer self-study and classroom. Okay, get trained. So choose from self-paced. So this is good. Find documentation. I would say get trained in a practical perspective from instructor led, but you can read anything offline. So asking a question, these are all fine. Don't get bogged or flooded with a lot of information here. I would say self-paced learning path is one. Go through that offline. If you require instructor led, don't go through this documentation as of now. Don't go through this. Okay, follow Microsoft Learn. This is so important. Okay, uh, so that is how it is. This is the study log. So I usually, you know, I am a technical manager working in the cloud and the BI, business intelligence, complex business intelligence projects. So I work in various areas as well in developing and inventing applications as well, both in the data and as well as the UI and UX applications as well. Uh, but at the same time, I also deal with managerial courses as well. So I have newsletters around cloud, fabric, program management, um, Python, you know. So as a techno managerial person, you know, I deal mostly in managing you know, the people and ensuring that the projects are successful. Uh, so but mostly I'm leading towards towards completely managerial role. So I'd come up with some of the managerial concepts as well in my subsequent sessions. So wherever the technology is involved, I would also involve and integrate AI, artificial intelligence, and Gen AI, generative AI, computer vision, crypto, blockchain, how AI is also, I mean, it's influential in various areas of our life, both in career as well as in the life. So, hopefully, so then my next session would be mostly on the program management, along with the project management, with Agile, Scrum, everything, and how certifications also help us grow in our career as a whole in the entire IT industry, and how to be in the top of the game. So these are the things that I would actually help you grow. Yeah. So I'd come up with a program managerial or the project management course in the next sessions. But at the same time, I will have practical scenarios on this Azure Data Engineering. So it will be kind of a very heavy knowledge based sessions, both technically and how to make a project successful as well. Okay. Thank you today.